we're in the sour hour room because we were just discussing about your YouTube videos and just the growth that you've been seeing. But with every great new birth of a product, things like that, the big global companies take a look at what's been happening, and they have. Just recently, before this video, Mars Wrigley, who owns the Skittles brand, they released it in early 2025. They're going to come out with freeze-dried Skittles Popped. And then also Hershey is saying that they're going to come out with their freeze-dried Jolly Rancher brand. As a larger freeze-dried candy company that started out freeze-drying some of these branded names, what are your thoughts on that news, and how is it going to change your business?
We're shutting down. We've been waiting for this day for a year now. Actually, we thought it was going to happen last year. We were waiting for it. We were anxious because of how much candy we were ordering, and we didn't know what it was going to look like. My thoughts are, I don't know. People can't be shocked. What do you expect, right? It's how every industry works. It's what every company does. When you look at the Mars Wrigley Corporation and the amount of brands they own, they're either going to launch it themselves or they're going to buy someone out, and that's the way that business works. I actually think it's not a bad turnout, right? A lot of customers don't like it when a company gets bought out because they like the independence of that company. I know we recently saw that with Siete Foods that got bought out by Pepsi. There's a lot of consumers that don't like it because they fell in love with the brand and the independence of it, and at the end of the day, you're getting a lot of money. In this case, we're freeze drying other people's product, and that's something that we've known from the beginning. Our vision is focused more on our brand, and we're really happy that we were able to start the trend. We started freeze drying on TikTok in 2020, and there was a lot of companies that followed and a lot of companies that started at the same time. And I'm really happy, honestly. I'm really happy that a lot of people had an opportunity to make money that they wouldn't have made before. I think that's a blessing, especially right after 2020, which was a hard time for a lot of people.
Yeah.
It was the birth of a lot of businesses. I think Harvest Right is owed a lot of credit for inventing a home freeze dryer. I think that's what allowed a lot of people to get into freeze drying, first of all. So I give them a lot of credit, and I'm excited, honestly. I think it's time to shift our business a little bit, which we've slowly been doing.
Yeah, I kind of like the way Mars is branding their freeze-dried Skittle. They're calling it Skittles Popped.
Yeah.
And that's really kind of what freeze drying as a process has done with candy. It's popped the sugar molecules in different types of candies that fortunately we all had available as branded candies. So really it kind of birthed a new industry of candies, which you have now. But also that's something I think that we can take into account with all the different entrepreneurs looking at freeze drying, is you can still do the branded candies. We still don't know a whole lot about what Mars Wrigley and Hershey is going to do. Can they get their distributors to make as much money as their regular candies? Are they going to cannibalize their regular Skittles and everything that's being purchased by our end by having another SKU? How's the packaging going to happen? It's all very new. So for someone starting out though in freeze drying, and they're looking at this news of Mars Wrigley coming out with freeze-dried Skittles, is it too late to get into this space?
I think it's a little too late to sell freeze-dried Skittles, although you could still go make money selling freeze-dried like other candy brands. The money's still there. I mean, as you saw below, we plan on selling freeze-dried candies and carrying the SKUs that we carry, as long as they keep selling. But as far as someone barely getting into it, I wouldn't recommend going and freeze-drying Skittles, just because at this point it's not unique. You could still get into candy and freeze-drying candy. I think it's too late if you want to start freeze-drying Skittles and go sell them at a farmer's market or on a website, because competition is really high. But I think the people that are the most innovative are always going to win. And there's things out there that we're not freeze-drying, or we're not marketing it the right way, that's already freeze-dried, that still hasn't reach its potential in the market.
Yeah, I think if someone's going to start out buying a freeze dryer, it's really not that much of a cost, a barrier to entry. Like a freeze dryer soon is going to cost less than $2,000. Yeah. So you can experiment with things, but making your own candy, I mean, you can make your own candy in your own house today.
Yeah.
The difference is how do you get it to freeze dry in a really colorful, tasteful way that you can build a brand off of? And you've done that with Lobos. You're doing it with other types of candies that aren't freeze dried. And I think that just goes to show that you can still get into the freeze-dried candy market. You just need to have a good plan for what you're going to offer. All right, so let's talk about the non-freeze-dried candy that you're going to introduce. Show us what that is.
So these are gummy ghosts. I actually want you to try them. We just launched them.
Okay.
To a lot of people, this is shocking because of how much we're known for freeze drying. But when we launched, we actually launched with a lot of candy that wasn't freeze dried. This isn't the first candy we make that's not freeze dried, but it's definitely the one
It looks like a ghost. Okay, I'll let
that
you
we've
know
developed the most. Let's see what you think.
a little bit of some sour with it. It's sweet.
Slightly, yeah. It's more sweet than sour.
Oh, that's tasty. Yeah, and it's like it just tastes like a gummy, like a little hint of a little bit of sour and blue raspberry. I like it.
We started working on this 2 years ago, and
Wow.
it's something that we actually put pause on last year because we were having so many complications. And it's something that we were able to pick up back on this year and actually get it out. We wanted to launch something that wasn't too sour. We are launching a different level of sourness for this next.
Nice.
But we wanted to start off at level 1 is what I would call it. We want to start off with something everybody could enjoy. The most popular SKU was regular Skittles, not sour freeze-dried Skittles. And that's because not everyone likes sour. And that's where we wanted to start off. We wanted to hit our audience and our market with what they love the most, which is already non-sour candy. But then number 2, we had sour candies following that. So this is the launch of the first Gummy Ghost, but there's several variations to come.
So speaking of videos, I want to know what types of trends you see in social media, where you think social media is headed, because Shorts on YouTube just announced that they're going to extend Shorts to 3 minutes. Does that change a lot of how you're going to format your short form content?
Yes, it does actually. We plan on making our Shorts 3 minutes just because we love making content. It's an opportunity for us to have longer videos and just have someone consume our videos for a longer period of time. What I think about the changes, I think they're good. I think that it's good that they're changing and adapting, and I think the people that are the most creative are always the ones that are going to win.
Why do you think they implemented 3-minute videos for Shorts versus keeping them at 60 seconds?
Because I believe what's most important for any social media platform is for the user to be on their platform. So when we look at analytics, the most important analytic is watch time. So if I can have a user watching a video for 1 minute versus 3 minutes, YouTube says, hey, they stayed on for 2 minutes longer than usual for that specific video.
Yeah.
Now, if you do that over thousands of videos, you're keeping people on your platform a lot longer, which is good for advertisers, which means more money.
Absolutely. So do you think that that's going to cannibalize long form content?
No, I actually think it'll support it. I think it will. I think there's a big gap right now between shorts and long form content, and someone's willing to watch a 1 minute video, but not a 5 minute video. And if you're able to have your audience watch a 3 minute video, it's not a big jump to 5 minutes. So I think it'll actually help just close that gap in between short form and long form.
Awesome. Well, we've been talking with Zeus of Trendy Treats. He's the co-founder with his wife Mel, who founded Trendy Treats. They happen to freeze dry candy. That's kind of how they started, but they've morphed and changed and completely revolutionized kind of how their brand is symbolized into developing other types of candies. And so thanks for meeting with me again. If you want to watch more content about Trendy Treats, you can watch the first interview that I did with them that'll be coming up later in the next thumbnail.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks.
It's always good having you.
Yeah.